prove anything to you anymore. I don't have to prove to you that I'm a good wife or mom.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry want you to believe that social media is a toxic wasteland, a dangerous place where your children don't belong. And they're not wrong about that bit. But then they post a very personal video, the dancing video, allegedly taken by their daughter, Lily, to their own Instagram account, which makes them money, makes Meta money. This isn't proving their love or delivering relatability at all. It's exposing their blatant hypocrisy. It's a massive contradiction and potentially increases risk for their kids in surprising ways.
I am cautious of putting my family in a position of risk by certain things.
The Sussex brand has made it clear that they will sacrifice their own messaging or causes for a moment of media attention. Well, Meghan Markle has stepped in it again. She has sabotaged herself once more with the desperate dancing video posted to Instagram. This bombshell contradiction is exposing hypocrisy more than anything else. It's not just another attention-thirsty post with Prince Harry reluctantly participating. The motive, I can only imagine, is to prove that they love each other. She claims that Lily shot the footage and then she posted a second version trying to prove Lily's involvement.
Prove something. To prove that you're enough. You have to prove that you're pretty enough. You have to prove that you're smart enough. You prove that you're a good wife or a good friend. And I was like, I am just so done with the prove it game.
I thought she was out of the prove it game. This has unfurled multiple conflicts. Most important, perhaps, is that the only thing Meg proved with this fiasco is that she is actively integrating her 4-year-old into the social media ecosystem she claims to be warning parents against. The hypocrisy and weirdness of it all has wasted no time in creating a brand new scandal for the Meg, and she put her child right in the middle of it. If we take Meg's word for it, she knew the dangers of social media, and she threw her kid into the mix anyway.
3 and 5, they're amazing. But all you want to do as parents is protect them. And so as we can see what's happening in the online space, we know that there's a lot of work to be done there.
It's the world that we're allowing to be created around them.
Hi everybody, I'm Beebs Kelly. Welcome back to another video. Before we jump in, I would like to invite you to subscribe, click the hype button, the like button, and share this video, but only if you want to. My personal, unsolicited opinion on whether or not their daughter Lily actually filmed this nonsense, for what it's worth, not much, but here it is. I think it's much more likely that the Meg wanted to post this video for whatever reason, and as typical, did not want to appear as though it was all her idea, so she put that it was her daughter who filmed it. And this does a few things. It definitely does more than divert our attention away from the fact that this lady is just posting to social media just for attention. But it also plants the idea that perhaps Meghan felt inclined to post it as a way to be nice with her daughter, for example. So maybe she felt obligated, or maybe it was to share the shine with her daughter, rather than solely the Meg's idea done by herself for herself by putting that one little caption that she credits her daughter for taking the footage, allegedly. It puts distance between that reality, and it gives the illusion that it was also sort of because of her daughter, like being gracious, sort of. Because in theory, even if her daughter had filmed it, she didn't need to cite it when posting it. We all know that. So it's really important to remember that at the end of the day, regardless of who filmed the footage, this was all still just Meghan sitting around wanting some attention, and so she posted it.
Building your brands as you're out there engaging with your friends online. Just be conscious of what you're doing. And understand that it is not limited to that one moment, that you are creating an echo chamber for yourself.
She has the comments off on her account because she's a coward. But what she does every time she makes a post is let the publications know that she has made a post. And then they, especially People magazine and tabloids in particular, rush to make an article about it because so many people dislike Meghan and will read the news about her but refuse to follow her on Instagram. They will click on the articles and read about it. So then Meghan gets a rush from seeing all those headlines flood in and mentions and things like that. So she gets her fix that way. That's why she posted it. She doesn't need the actual comments and likes on Instagram. She gets to see articles written about her post. She's addicted to that, and day drinking, probably, possibly. I mean, if we take with Love Meghan as any indication. It's sad when you put it into that context, though, quite frankly. The insecurity must be off the chart. But anyway, it was an attention grab, plain and simple, regardless of who shot the footage. As a side note, my personal experience with 4-year-olds taking pictures is they can actually take good photographs on cell phones, especially these days, because they are good at stabilizing. The phone is. But video is usually a bit dodgy. That's just my personal experience with 4-year-olds and cameras. Of course, it's possible that she filmed it or that she clicked record on a tripod. Of course, that's possible. But I think that the reason for the credit in the post had nothing to do with who shot the footage and everything to do with pushing responsibility off. Just like everything else is someone's idea or someone else's fault. When anything goes wrong, Meghan puts out statements of blame that they didn't help her enough, or they didn't offer guidance, or they didn't promote it, or whatever. And when it falls apart or has lukewarm reviews, Meg goes out of her way to put out statements or arrange publicity almost exclusively just to say, someone at Netflix screamed there's a show here, or so many friends texted me on the same morning to tell me that the jam made them happy, or my friends told me that the Father's Day poem I made for Harry needed to be a book because it's so inclusive. This is the same thing, in my opinion. Knowing how people high in narcissism tend to operate, they love making it look like someone else shoved them into the spotlight, or that they stepped into the spotlight as some sort of gracious sacrifice to do something nice for someone else, like post a video that they took to social media. That's what it looks like in my opinion. But also, there's another layer to this that makes it even more bizarre. Catherine, Princess of Wales, has given credit to her children for photographs previously, and so too must the Meg. This is ridiculously bizarre at this point, and once again, we cannot deny that this is more than a coinky-dink. Catherine has posted more than once, I feel like it's been 3 or 4 times now, but I can't say for sure, photographs or even segments of video that were filmed by her children. Most recently, I believe it was Prince Louis had taken a photograph of Catherine, which Catherine posted for World Cancer Day, and credited Prince Louis. Obviously, this happened long before the Meg did this. And this follows in the pattern that we've been watching from Meghan Markle for years now. Meghan only stopped doing social media posts and announcements on the same day as notable occasions in the royal family, like birthdays or big events, because the mainstream media started calling it out in 2024, and all the mainstream media was saying that this is not a coincidence anymore. This is very strange that Meghan always posts something to social media on the same day that the royal family has scheduled events. At this point, the mainstream media was like, yeah, this is weird. This is not a coincidence. And then suddenly, Meghan's pivoted. She had to start making it seem like it was out of her control. Same with Harry. Like, for example, when William was in Brazil and Harry was in Canada, and Harry said, well, the charity organized this. First off, that doesn't mean that he didn't suggest a specific week, but it's also just a way to make it seem like it's not his fault. Or they do a virtual appearance for a book release so that it doesn't look as deliberate. We are discussing that book release thing in my next video probably, or in an upcoming video, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. But this is the same type of social media attention grabs that she's always been doing. She's just trying to be sneaky by sharing blame with other people. This goes deeper than that too, though. Whether or not Lily actually took the video is not important beyond it being possibly another frivolous lie. But since we cannot prove either way, let's set that bit aside for a moment. She did put Lily's name on the post, and there is a chance that Meghan did not tell Lily she posted it to social media to be totally fair, that it could be completely isolated from Lily. It could be. But she's still putting her kid's name there onto social media unnecessarily. How can the public respect Harry and Meghan's stance on social media when they involve their children in it? How can we take their requests for privacy as earnest when they unnecessarily include their children online? Not to mention the hypocrisy of using socials at all, and thus making them money while simultaneously campaigning that socials are bad and not doing enough to protect youth and spread misinformation, for example. It would be a lot stronger of a position for Harry and Meghan to take to protest use of social media at all themselves and thereby deprive Meta of their income stream. But furthermore, there is a much greater chance that the Meg actually did involve Lily in this post. That she posted the video and said, look, see, I posted your video to my social media and look and see how many people liked it and saw it and reposted it or whatever. And I put your video that you took online. How fun is that? Not fun at all, Meghan. She's involving her child in social media and exposing her child to social media posting at an extremely young age. And I think it is much more likely that Meghan involved or informed Lily that she was doing this, because there's no other real reason to put credit to Lily as taking the video besides competing with Catherine, which is weird and pathetic, or to share the moment with Lily, or to show Lily, look how many people are looking at this video you took. I don't see it not having happened that way. Just my opinion, though. But that means that Lily is getting the impression and information that will eventually lead to her wanting to post on socials herself. We've seen this play out with the Kardashians, for example. A huge amount of their business, brand, and income is via social media presence. And they have started letting North post to social media very, very young. Because really, it hurts your argument to some degree as a parent to be using it yourself prolifically and try to discourage use in the kids. Like, not all the way, of course, but it surely doesn't help anything to be using social media a lot yourself and then be like, no, not you. A teenager, I would imagine, would say, that's hypocritical and not respect your requests to stay off. And to be exposing the children to it and involving them in it explicitly in this manner of like involving them in the content creation and posting in this way, that's only going to have the opposite effect to what Harry and Meghan claimed just earlier this month that they cared to do, which was to discourage use of social media for children. This encourages it for Lily to show her how fun it can be to make a post and get lots of likes. And she's 4. This encourages it so much, very much, and is a really rather dicey choice to make.
Children, Archie and Lily, are just 6 and 4 years old. Can you believe it? Luckily, still too young for social media, but we know that day is coming. And like so many parents, we think constantly about how to embrace technology's benefits while safeguarding against its dangers. And that hopeful intention of separation is rapidly becoming impossible.
Well, that's even more impossible now when you work against yourself there, Meg. What it does, exposing kids and involving kids in social media at this really, really, really tender young age, is it normalizes social media use for Meghan and Harry's own children. When she and Harry simultaneously say that parents should stand against social media companies because they aren't doing enough to protect children online, and that kids should stay off socials, you really can't have it both ways. And this is the consistent problem with Harry and Meghan. It's beyond hypocrisy. It's an inability to do as they say and set the example through their own actions, which is what the real royals do very well. We see them taking action and even making posts that actually promote the values they publicly speak about and support and advocate for. More time in nature, more time spent doing sports, making environmentally aware decisions, making efforts to connect in real life. And even when Catherine has posted photographs, like the Prince Louis photograph for World Cancer Day, it was for a specific cause. Having Prince Louis's name there may have gotten it more press attention than it would have otherwise. Also, photography is a hobby, and there is no indication that he knew it was posted or was involved in that part of it at all. The photo was released to highlight a good cause of cancer awareness, and it was released to her official Instagram. Meg's is a private Instagram. She's just a rando, and it wasn't tied to any cause or purpose. There's no indication of an ongoing hobby or skill development that is screen-free like photography either. And Catherine's approach to the social media issues is more so that the more time we spend on screens, the more disconnected we are from each other. Simple as that. Very straightforward, very non-judgmental. Meanwhile, Meghan's is very targeted to social media in particular and feels very much just because she felt she wasn't treated fairly. Her social media cause or stance or position is weak because she undermines it. But it's also super weak sauce because it's an obvious tool to prove how unfairly she was treated or try to justify leaving the royal family and making up lies, and her crusade against it all includes anyone and anything that ever criticized her and the platforms used to do it, rather than a genuine we should put down our phones and connect with humans and nature more often for our own mental wellness. That's the sort of vibe that Catherine and William champion. Harry and Meghan feels judgmental and extreme and like they're fear-mongering and like it's hopeless the way they talk about it. So the Waleses have a better message overall and a cleaner feeling cause to get behind, because it also prevents them from looking hypocritical for still using social media as a tool to draw awareness to their causes and campaigns, because they're not directly criticizing just social media. They're just taking more the approach of like, keep it to a minimum sort of a thing, or don't let it interfere with your family time sort of a vibe. They're not being judgmental and saying all social media is bad and terrible and awful the way Harry and Meghan tend to. So we don't have the same hypocritical feeling when the Waleses use social media on their professional accounts as we do when Harry and Meghan use social media in their private accounts, if that makes sense. Meg missed the entire boat on how to do this right, and targeting social media specifically and almost exclusively really has proven to be a big mistake for Meghan specifically as soon as she joined Meta. Although, maybe she never left. Maybe she had a covert account the whole time, a secret account the whole entire time.
And it can be really freeing when you stop playing the prove it game. You're proving nothing to anyone other than to yourself.
Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a happy day ahead, and I will see you next time. Bye.